Got a little tight-knit group in here today. Everybody, I do Zoom one time and now everybody stops coming. So see what happens. You're eating cereal? That's impressive. That's a first. Hey, appreciate you guys being here bright and early. Sales meeting. We'll get into it. This weekend I saw a video that it's an oldie but a goodie, as my dad would say, and maybe some of you guys have seen this. Have you guys seen this video before? Good, by Jocko. Has anyone ever seen that? Mm-hmm. We'll see if we can get this to play. Hopefully, works out really well.
One of my direct subordinates, one of my guys that worked for me, he would call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on, and he'd say, "Boss, we got this and that and the other thing," and I'd look at him and I'd say, "Good." And finally one day he was telling me about some issue that he was having, some problem, and he said, "I already know what you're going to say." And I said, "Well, what am I going to say?" He said, "You're going to say good." He said, "That's what you always say. When something is wrong and going bad, you always just look at me and say good." And I said, "Well, yeah, when things are going bad, there's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get funded. Didn't get the job you wanted. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Got tapped out? Good. Got beat? Good. You learned. Unexpected problems? Good. We have the opportunity to figure out a solution." That's it. When things are going bad, don't get all bummed out, don't get startled, don't get frustrated. If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
All right, I love that video. I don't know why, I didn't even know we had speakers over here. Hopefully you guys could see it or hear it. Had everyone seen that video before? A lot of you guys have. So I just randomly saw that because it gets shared on social media all the time. And really, the whole purpose of these Monday morning sales meetings that we do is really just to dial in mindset just a little bit as we get started for the week. And I really think that the whole purpose of doing this is just so you can be intentional with the headspace that you put yourselves in a sales job, right? And I love that video. That's probably one of my top 10 rotational videos of just kind of mindset, well-edited videos, concise thoughts, easy to understand. And so I watch that periodically. And you know, I guess I probably worked on developing a mindset like that before somebody even really put it into a good, well, thought out podcast clip or video. And I rarely now have any bad days. In fact, like I might have bad moments, right? Like for throughout a day, where it's just a couple seconds or a couple minutes, but I'm very easy to just kind of readjust my mindset and go, sometimes I actually tell myself good or okay, let's, find a way to work through it. But for me, as long as, my family, my people close to me are healthy and nothing's wrong there, I'm pretty hard to have a bad day, right? And all of us know people throughout our lives that seems like almost every day is a bad day, right? There's always this, you ask them what's going on, and it's this, and this. There's always a whole list of things that are going wrong in their life, right? And a lot of times other people have many more things going on than we all realize, many more things going on than we do, harder situations, but yet they don't have the same mindset, right? They're not affected in the same ways that we are. And another guy that I like, he's not for everybody, but Dana White, the CEO of the UFC, one thing he said, every day I wake up, I know that bad shit's gonna happen to me. And so I just know that. That's the mindset I wake up in, is that every day I have problems that I'm gonna have to solve. And so if I know that every day and I accept that, then when those things happen, it doesn't derail me, right? And that's more the mindset that I have in life and business right now is, hey, there's gonna be challenges every day. And if those challenges aren't as hard as some of the other days, then that made the day even better, even easier, right? But it's when you have that mindset, it's not just some hard ass, military SEAL mindset, but it's something that everybody can have and take into their daily lives. And ultimately it leads you to be much, much happier, much more productive. And so just as we kind of start this week, I just wanted you to adjust your mindset. Anytime you have a disruption throughout the day, anytime you have a bad sales encounter, anytime you have a coworker, manager, or something like that, client frustrate you, just let it go and just think good. Good, it's an opportunity for me to get better. Good, it's an opportunity for me to learn. It's an opportunity for me to work on my mindset and let things go. And it is your brain neurologically, the neuroplasticity of it, the way it works, you can actually train yourself to be happier, basically. Let things go easier, not get quite as upset. Create new patterns, new wavelengths in your brain that will not derail you so much, right? And that's ultimately the whole reason why Jocko has said he developed that mindset of good in there, because then it just trains his brain to look for the opportunity in any obstacle there is. And that's really all it is a simple neurological hack. So I want you to think of that throughout the week as you go on. When something, interrupts you, disrupts you, causes you challenges, causes you to be upset. The other thing that I like that does, a little exercise like that, is it allows you to, really care about the things that are a big deal, right? The things that really do impact your life, and not being derailed or upset about every single little minor obstacle that comes up throughout the day. So appreciate. Let's see if I got any. Now how do I move on? There we go. So no bad days, no bad moods. It's kind of what I was saying. Moving on, guys, trainings and updates. I do want to have a really big, is this why you're down here, AJ? Are we going to talk about are you here?
Can I answer any questions that you have?
All right. I love it. I do want to get into this. We'll call this the mini training of the one I want to do. We're probably going to put out a video in the new Agent Boost Community Center detailed on this. But as we've been talking about, guys, first things first, effectuation. This has been a catastrophic problem over the industry over the past 6 months. Carriers are working on it. We need to be writing policies that are actually policies. We need to be doing a thorough job. We need to be following up all the way through. We're tweaking some of the processes for some of you, depending on what team you're on, to make sure you have access to the data that you need to ensure that those sales are going into place, right? But again, are you an agent or are you an enroller? Going over these things that are super easy, guys. Do they have a PCP? Do they know, if they don't, what are those trade-offs? Are their meds covered? And if you're, again, highlighted this again, if your enrollments are sub 20 minutes, whether that's in person or over the phone, that's probably a poor enrollment, right? Unless it's a previous client and you've already gone through a lot of stuff. Please, please, please focus on these things with your effectuation. I always ask myself, when I'm done with the client, do they know why they are enrolling in this plan? Can they articulate it to their family members, their friends, their daughter, their son, their parents that are going to ask them later, like, what did you do, Mom? Why did you enroll in some random scammer called you on the phone or met with you and you changed your insurance plan? Why did you do that? If they cannot articulate why they did that, it's probably not a very good enrollment, right? Do all the 3, 30, 60, 90-day follow-ups. Send a reminder or summary text. I like to do that with my clients once I've enrolled them. Hey, Martha, remember, we got you enrolled in this new plan because it covers your doctors. You have this grocery card. You got better dental, blah, 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 blah. Remember to call me this if you have any questions. So then when daughter comes over to the house later and goes, Mom, why did you change your insurance plan? I thought we'd been through this. And she goes, no, I needed to. If you had any questions, you could call this guy Mike. He explained to me why it's actually going to benefit my situation, right? Something like that. Do a good quality job. Emphasize the benefits, the why for these clients. Not just like, hey, I'm here to get you on this plan. That's what you need to do. Boom. Let's slam this through. All right, this is really what I want to talk about, and I'm going to do a bigger training. We're going to do a video about it, but one of the things that's emerged over the past year is we're doing a poor job with pipeline management, okay? We provide Rocket CRM on the high-level chassis for everybody. It's been one of the cores of Agent Boost and one of the keys to our success over the past 5 or 6 years. I've been using this for 6 or 7 years for everything. Agent Boost, we use it for recruiting. We use it for contract management now, and I've used it personally for my own book of business. We know it works. We know it helps sell more, manage better, keep in communication with your clients, and helps with effectuation and retention. So I need you all to use it for those intended purposes, okay? For some of you, like on the W2 channel and on the LOA channel, the training on the why of pipeline management and how to do it has been pretty poor, admittedly, over the past year. And there's almost been a little bit of a encouragement not to use it because you don't want to spend too much time out of Convoso or whatnot. That is absolutely not the purpose. The purpose of kind of some of that messaging was it wasn't meant to be a placeholder status for somebody to change that to in Convoso and then go, scroll the internet or go play games on the phone and say you were working in Rocket, right? That was why it's kind of emerged as we've kind of shifted away from that. But one of the things that we're really not doing a good job on, especially, is managing T65s, right? Everybody knows what a T65 is. It's probably should be the first little acronym you learn in Medicare, turning 65, right? So we are rechanging or fixing back a lot of the pipelines. Again, I view this as a really nice landscaped garden that we had built, and over time it gets overgrown and torn apart and remodeled by a bunch of different people into a gross, terrible version of it. So we're reconsolidating all of these pipelines to match and all of the columns to look the same, so there's consistency, because we know that it works, right? The focus that I want to talk about right now is people who are turning 65. Everybody's concerned as we go into lock-in, what are we going to be doing for all these SEPs that are happening? Besides the fact that there are tons of legitimate disasters in the country right now, the way it's set right now is somebody still thinks somebody at CMS is going to be the arbiter of those SEPs and be able to allow or disallow those codes. So we need to be as good as possible at utilizing all of the current special election periods and focusing and honing in again on T65s. We are fortunate that at Agent Boost in our ecosystem, we're getting a lot of leads from our carrier partners, and a lot of those are T65s, Kate agents, Ambetter agents, a lot of those, and we're doing frankly a really, really poor job of tracking those and converting those. And really the impetus for me jumping back in on this was I was hearing a lot of people complaining like, oh, these leads aren't good, they suck, I can't even enroll them right now. They're not even eligible till next month. I'm like, dude, those are the best leads ever, you know? Don't you want to start next month or 2 months from now with 10 or 15 teed up deals, okay? So we're gonna talk about how to do that specifically. I put this training in the Agent Boost Community Center about how somebody needs to enroll in Part B, right? To get on a Medicare Advantage plan, they gotta have A, they gotta have B, and they gotta live in the county, right? So does everybody know how somebody should activate their Part B? I put a new guide in like sales expertise right here in this community center this morning. But turning 65s, okay? When you're talking to somebody in person, over the phone, this is my process. I explain to them, hey, you know, you're turning 65, it can be really complicated, right? Nobody knows what the hell Medicare Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D is, how they all work together. Nobody tells these seniors how to activate their Part B. None of them know how that works, right? So in my mind, it's binary. It's two simple processes. When someone's turning 65, the first question I ask them is, are you already drawing Social Security, right? If they are, what happens?
Card shows up automatically.
Their Part B is automatically going to be activated, okay? So if they're not, how do they activate their Part B?
SocialSecurity.gov.
There's 3 ways to do it, right? I always tell them, I would Google them a local number if I'm doing this virtually over the phone, or I'd give them the local office. It still generally rings up to the 800 number or whatever, but they at least feel like it's a little bit more of a local touch. They can do it through socialsecurity.gov, but what I found out is most of the time seniors are not great at navigating to the website and setting that all up, right? For me, it was always a case-by-case basis. If they were tech savvy, you know, working individual that, you know, was used to navigating, maybe they already had gone into their Social Security portal before, they could activate that online. Or they could go down in person, right? So one of 3 ways that they can activate it. From there, you all need to follow up with that person. And so what my process would be, I would explain to them, hey, I'm gonna be your help, I'm gonna be your guide. First things first, the only thing I need you to do, you've got to activate your Medicare Part B if you're not already drawing it, right? If they already are drawing Part B, then I know that when should their Part B become active?
The month they turn 65.
The month they turn 65, and when would they be eligible to enroll in a plan? 3 months before the month of their birthday, right? So, and that's called what?
Initial enrollment.
IEP, initial enrollment period, okay? So I generally say, hey, you know, what's your situation? Are you drawing Social Security? Are you not? This is what I need you to do. I'm going to follow up with you. Once you do that, I'm going to be the person that walks you through step by step, helps you. I'm going to do a full needs analysis at that time. I'm going to give them just a little bit of information to make them know that I'm an expert in my field, that I'm going to be their personal concierge to walk them through. Basically, that's my job. Nobody's better at helping them, you know, get on their Medicare insurance than I am. And then I'm going to create a lead. And back here, I'm going to put this in waiting for eligibility AEP. That's not just a randomly created, nobody, you know, for some reason column. If I have people that are waiting for their Medicare Part B, that's what their eligibility is. It's not waiting for eligibility for the local gym membership or whatever. It's waiting to be Medicare Part B eligible, right? Or in rare circumstances, I can't do anything with this client until annual enrollment, but it's a great lead. It's pretty much a done deal. I'm going to put them right there, okay? Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get their Social Security number, because I'm going to be able to check that in Marks with their name, date of birth, and Social Security number, right? And my conversation with that is usually going to be, hey, Mrs. Beneficiary, normally I don't have to ask for your Social Security number, but where you don't have a Medicare Part B number yet, I actually have access to a back-end Medicare tool called Marks, and I'm going to be able to check and see when your Part B becomes active, and I'll know long before you will. Sometimes it takes the government, you know, the government's not super quick and super efficient. Sometimes it takes them 3 to 6 weeks for them to mail your card out to you in the mail. But I'm going to know the second that gets published in the system. So if I can get your social security number, I'll store it in a HIPAA compliant place. And that's the other thing I want you all to do. If you guys look right here, this logo up there, it's hard to see, HIPAA compliant logo. Okay, so it is compliant to store their social security number in the notes of this lead. So that's what you do. That's what I do. I go over, I copy and paste my notes, my conversations, their Medicare profile and marks if I have access to it. And then I know when it should be effective, right? If that client's going to go down next week and talk to Social Security and she's going to be eligible in 2 or 3 months from then, I'm going to put that lead and I'm going to put should be April 1st effective. And then I'm going to check in with that client periodically. And I want to get that person enrolled. I'm going to check and see when their Part B goes active and enroll that person before anybody else gets a chance to work with that consumer. And they're going to know that they're locked in. And I give them peace of mind and I say, hey, you know all that crap, all the million pieces of literature you're getting mailed to you in the mail, you don't even worry about that. You don't even have to pay attention to any of it. You know all those other annoying people, not me, that are calling you and following up with you, don't listen to them. I'm your person, right? We already got this handled. We're gonna do this. And then what I do is I have my prized possessions right here, my prized pre-sale leads, and I'll put a little tag on there, April 1st. And then what happens is during April, when I come into the office in the morning, I work this pipeline right to left because my right are my best leads. Towards my left side, they're my Kohler leads. And I check in with those. Let's say I'd been working like you all are every day, or back when I was, in the thick of it, I would have 20 to 30 of these people all the time that I was tracking an evergreen pipeline of sales, future sales, right? So I would wake up in the morning, I'd get in the office, let's check see if Melissa's Part B is active. Nope, boom. 3 days later, check it again. What do you know? Her Part B number's published there. Great news, Melissa. Text her, hop on the phone. Let's go meet if you're doing stuff in person. Your Part B's active, ready to go. Let's get you taken care of. Okay, great news. And then I have her Part B number before she does. Who looks like an expert? Yeah, you do, me. Because I'm able to walk them through the process and I'm able to get access to their Medicare Part B number before anybody else. All right? So that is a process that we're not doing very well. Okay? In Convoso, and when we're going to do a training on this, there's 2 new disposition statuses, right, Aaron? What do they say?
Waiting for eligibility and follow-up.
So waiting for eligibility. So if someone's turning 65 and they're waiting for eligibility, which one of those new disposition statuses in Convoso do you think we should choose? Waiting for eligibility. What will happen when you choose that status?
It'll be taken out of the list, and then it will go to that waiting for eligibility location in your pipeline.
Are you saying it'll automatically create this for me, a lead right here? Wow, that's great. That sounds efficient. Good job. Okay, so if you're using the Convoso dialer and you're talking to a person like this and you use that new waiting for eligibility disposition, it will automatically create in your pipeline a lead for that person. Then you can follow those steps that I just talked about, okay? Now, if we catch you guys trying to freaking hoard these or squat on these and go, oh yeah, every person I talk to is all of a sudden becoming waiting for eligibility. I have right here in my pipeline, it says 75%. Why does it say that? For me, I think there's a greater than 75% chance that I'm going to close that, right? I don't put anything here unless it's almost a done deal, right? I'm just waiting to solidify that. And so if all of a sudden we go through and we find that you've got every other person you talk to that was a potentially qualified lead there, or you're just, harvesting them out, creating your own private lead list there, that's not going to happen, right? So, I'm on to you. BS a BSer, right? Like you can't. So that is the process. Also, there's another eligibility for follow-up. There are times, legitimately, even if you guys are prospecting over the phone, where we should have legitimate follow-ups. Somebody needs to talk to a family member. Somebody needs to check with a doctor. Somebody was very interested, but they were at the grocery store, right? Or something like that. There are occasionally times where it is a legitimate reason to follow up with somebody. Now, don't every person that's like, oh, I'm not really interested, call me back later. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not a lead. That's not a follow-up. That's a call back later or a prospect some other time, right? This is money, right? Everyone's heard the phrase, the money is in the follow-up or whatever it is. We're not doing this. We're not doing a good job collectively as an agency following up with good qualified leads and marking people who are turning 65, and that's dollars out of you all's future pocket. That's revenue and enrollees that we should be helping that we're not doing a very good job of, and that somebody else is. So I want that to be the new process for all of you. I want that to be a focus, and when I go in and look, if I've been prospecting all day, every day, full time, I want you to have leads in here, actual good leads. And I want you to be able to because guess what, guys? Isn't it a lot better when you can take some of the work that you're doing that you're not able to capitalize on now and have a future sale, start the month, start the week with a couple good deals already in your pocket? You're all gonna make more money, but we're not doing that right now. It's hand to mouth. And that's not what we initially had designed the system to be, and things kind of evolve away from best practices. So let's please get back to doing it that way. Anyone have any questions about that? I'll say one thing too. Our independents obviously are doing a far better job than our internal LOAs and W-2 team. I kind of understand it, but I also don't, because you both get paid on it in some way, shape, or form, and it doesn't make sense, right? This new Agent Boost Community Center, we're going to be leveraging this a lot more. It's a really good place to put trainings, resources, even better. Slack's great for quick communications and shout outs and sharing information and things like that. This is going to be more of a long-term repository of great information, right? There's more of like in this announcement channel right here, this is kind of like a more permanent version home of Slack. And there's going to be field agents in this as well. Slack, it's usually more of like our virtual teams that are working in that more. But this will be a good chance to connect with, up to 3,000 agents from all across the country. And there's really good training in here. We're going to continue to put that in. So if you haven't checked it out, we're gonna house a lot of our information and a lot of our trainings here. I kind of messed my slides up apparently. Reminder, $500 referral for agents. Got a couple quick things to get through here. Our Agent Elite training next week in Tampa. Is that next week? Yeah, I'm going to it. Yep, next week. So if you know anybody who wants to go to that, anyone across the country, anybody who watches this, it's free for everybody, even if they're not our agents, but we do have to have them RSVP. A couple other things. Okay. It's a new slide. So the Maui trip is happening next month, and we are communicating with all of those who have been close to qualifying. It was a little chaotic for multiple reasons as far as like qualifications, but we think we're in a good place for that. So if you think that you were trending and you haven't heard from us, let us know and we can tell you where you're at. But that'll be the fourth year we've done that trip. And just like every other year, we learn a little bit. We were slow getting that out. The qualifications were maybe, according to some, a little high for point qualifications. But the counterpoint for us is we have to build trips and design stuff with the carriers and the teams who are, make it compliant and make it make sense financially with our partners who are providing us with the co-op dollars to fund that, right? So for next year, I'm putting out over a year in advance the 2026 trip as well. Okay, it's going to be Grand Cayman, and does everybody know? Do you have to have a passport to go there? Yes. So if you are ambitious and you're going to be going there and you don't have a passport, please don't be a week out from the trip and go, oh man, I really need to get a passport. So we're again, I said we learn a little bit every year we do these trips and try to schedule them so we can track them appropriately, so we can do them as fair as possible. The point qualification is going to be the same, the point system. And what we're going to do is we're going to take basically the top 10 people. So the 750 is going to be the minimum qualifier, 750 points, and then it will be the top 10 point earners, like the NASCAR Cup or something like that. I think I'm not great at NASCAR sports scoring, but I think that's how they do their season. So if people thought that was a lot of points I didn't think it was that much, and we've definitely had people do more than that. That's for the whole year, right? So the qualification period are going to be April 1st effectives all the way through April 1st effectives of next year. And then the trip is going to be in April of next year. 5 points for WellCares, 2.5 points for Humana. Golden Rule and Allstate are also 2 points as well. Okay, there is going to be a little ACA component to this as well that we're going to add, but it's going to be a set fixed amount of people. So there's basically the minimum qualification point system, and then the top 10 people after that. You have a long time. That's kind of it's a long season, right? I don't want to say it's a long time so you don't have to work that hard. We just wanted to get this out early, learn from prior things. Also, we have a little bit more clarity in the industry this year, right? Last year, getting the trip out announced late we weren't going to do one, right? Because there was so much chaos and confusion around the industry and the funding and the finances of the industry last year. Any questions about either trip? You guys don't even know this, right? Surprise. Shout outs. Last week, great week. Adriana, Mark, Bree, Christine Owens, Ethan, and Sarah Lalari. Is she in Tampa? Great. Best effectuation. Remember I said we have the monthly rewards. Best effectuation, we don't know yet because of course the new month just took effect. But overall most enrollments, Mark Warwick, Adriana, and Abe Fox. Great job for you all. They won either hockey tickets, a concert suite, or something equivalent if they're virtual or not in Utah, basically. Most WellCare, Jordan Ritter, Sarah Larari. Is it like Ferrari? Larari? All right. And Anna Zalea Silva, most WellCares. Again, same thing. They're going to win some good stuff. Top rookie, I believe it was this guy, Jordan Ritter. Yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So top rookie was first full month selling. So he had a really great month. Again, this is what we're going to be focusing on, guys. Most effectuation, most WellCare, top 3, most overall, and top rookies. So that's all I got. I went a little bit longer than I thought. Key coaching point for this week is have a great mindset, look for opportunities, find the good, right? And then pipeline your deals, especially those T65s. That's all I got for you guys. Ready? Break.